Hi everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. We're a little bit stuck. I've had some suggestions in the previous episode, so thank you for those. I've basically now got 3 ideas of things that we can try. One is going to be to use the spray to see if there's blood anywhere else, particularly around that mascot statue, because people keep mentioning that, so I'm thinking there's definitely got to be something to that. The other thing is to go back to the office, like the right... I can't even remember what it's called. The Wright and Co-Law offices, that's the one. And then we'll go back there, see if anything else happens, whether it progresses the plot. And the only other thing I can think of then, if that doesn't work, is just to spam present things to Angel here, see if that helps out. So let's try the spray first over here. So examine. Can we use the spray on this particular bit? Okay, yeah, we know we've done this dialogue. We just want to see if we can use the spray on this little area. Okay, E. Let's see if we can spray anything on here. I don't know how sensitive the spray is. Like, if there's something nearby, will it just show up? Okay, I'm not seeing anything here. No, okay. Doesn't look like, unless we need to examine it more closely, but I can't remember if you get a chance to use an item at this point. Maybe. No, okay, we can't use it on that screen. Fine, so it's not using the spray on the mascot, unfortunately, but it's worth a try because I'm sure this thing's going to be important in some way. Otherwise, what would be the relevance of it, right? Where else could we potentially use the spray? I mean, maybe here around the door, because I think behind this door is where the other murder happened, right? So maybe there could be some sort of area around here we can use the spray on. Let's just spray some random bits and pieces and see if anything appears. Doesn't look like it. Unless it's like over this way. Oh! There's blood on the top of the cactus. Okay. Well then. Wow, we got a reaction. There's clearly blood around the spines here. This room's pretty messy. Someone must have tripped over something and planted their head right in these spines. That sounds ridiculously painful. ... I think that might be more painful than being murdered. I mean, okay, so it's literally just for a little bit of an Easter egg, is it? So it's not actually relevant to the case in any way, I guess. Alright, that's pretty cool though. Alright, no, nothing else there. Should we just try spraying like the police car and everything to see if there's any blood? There could be, right? No, they haven't run anybody over or anything. Just spray this everywhere. Any blood down here? No. Alright, well. Let's go back to the offices and see if that helps. I don't think so, but you know what? While we're here... I'm intrigued to see if there's any blood around here. Would be quite funny if there'd been some sort of, like, whether it'll reference back to the first, was it the first case or the second case? The one with Mia. But no, it doesn't look like there's any blood around anymore. It's been deep cleaned. Okay, anywhere else? I guess that person's not back at the detention centre. No. I mean, could we potentially look at Edgeworth's office? How do we get to Edgeworth's office again? Can we not get to Edgeworth's office? Huh. I don't know. Alright, let's see if we got anything else we can present. What did we present last time? Did we present... I think we presented... We presented this, I think, didn't we? And we also presented this. So is there anything else? Maybe we can just present stuff like this. A body with Edgeworth's knife stuck in it was found in Edgeworth's car. I think he owes me his gratitude. Gratitude? Why, if I hadn't witnessed the crime, Mr. Edgeworth would have been the suspect. I wonder. Still, it's strange. Why didn't our chief prosecutor have her own murder weapon ready? Good question. So not... Did she say anything about this thing? Could you take a look at this? You! Yes. Okay, so it's just the hot tea thing, or lunch thing again, so... that means that she's not got anything relevant to say about that. Okay, so, what else have we got? Cell phone, parking lot floor plans... I mean, we've got the photo, we could try that. If you think about it, I could have taken that picture from the guard room. But even I get flustered sometimes. So you went straight to the scene of the crime. I rushed towards the chain link fence in an effort to stop the murder. That's when I took this photo, yes. In other words, 5 minutes after the crime. Those 5 minutes are the whole problem. The hole in my testimony, as it were. The 5 minutes weren't the problem, Miss Starr. You lying was the problem. Listen, little girl. I've had my testimony disregarded before. And I wasn't going to have it disregarded again. Just like that time. That time. Ah, what time? Interesting. Will she say the same thing again, or will she... Ah, it's the same thing. So she's talking about that time. I wonder what time she's talking about. That must be relevant. Alright, let's take a look at this. Okay, this is the T thing again. So it's not going to be that. Yeah. Anything to say about this? What do you think about this? The SL-9 incident. It's written on that knife. And on that note. Goodman. Goodman was the head detective on that case, you know. Really? That knife was evidence from that case, the murder weapon. It was due for transferal the very day that Goodman was killed. Ah. Okay. As I suspected, SL-9 isn't over, not yet. Do you think you could tell us more about the SL-9 incident? Alright, so... do we have anything else that links to SL-9? Is she interested in this? Could you take a look at this? Oh no, it's the T thing again. Alright, so I feel like SL-9 is actually going to be really important to this then. So we're going to need to get her to tell us something about SL-9. It was when I grabbed the chief prosecutor on the shoulder. She dropped that phone on the pavement. That's when you heard her talking about the muffler, right? Little did I know, it was a trap. The red car's muffler and the prosecutor's red muffler. What was Miss Sky really trying to say, I wonder? Okay, we showed her this. SL-9, yeah, and on that note. Goodman was the head detective. That knife was from that case, the murder weapon. It was due for transferal the day Goodman was killed. Okay, SL-9 isn't... She keeps telling us... Can we... Oh, we can ask about SL-9. Okay. That incident really opened up my eyes to the truth. We're nothing to them. Disposable. Disposable to who? 2 years ago, it was the biggest case I'd ever handled. Oh, so Marshall was working that case as well. Who's this guy in the bottom left? The police and the prosecutors were desperate for decisive evidence. So they didn't solve it? On the contrary, it was solved quite cleanly. The criminal was caught and executed. What? Executed? Yes, the criminal got what was coming to him. It doesn't get any cleaner than that. The only problem was, they never did find decisive evidence, not a shred. So they executed someone without decisive evidence. Jesus. What? But the criminal was executed, right? On the basis of evidence, of a sort. Made up evidence. But what? You mean they executed someone with fabricated evidence? ... The best part came several months after the trial. Every detective involved with the case was dealt with. Some were demoted to patrolmen, others found themselves out of a job. And you were one of those? Myself and one other person you know well. Wait, could it be... Exactly, Detective Jake Marshall. Ah. Oops, I mean Police Department Security Detail Officer Jake Marshall. So Marshall was a detective and was then demoted because of this as well. As professional detectives, we investigated that case from every angle. Jake was particularly determined. And then it was over, and he was demoted. I want to know who this bottom left character is down here. Because he seems to be wearing a hat as well, but I don't think we've seen him before. It's Goodman on the right, him in the middle, and obviously Angel on the left, but who is that bottom right? However, he hasn't forgotten, and neither have I. You haven't forgotten SL-9? There was another side to that case, a hidden side. That's what we're after now. And no one up in their fancy offices can stop us. Wait, those lunches you sell? There is only one reason I come to sell lunches in this accursed office. I come here to meet old friends, boyfriends that can help me investigate. Miss Star's old boyfriends, how many does she have anyway? Just when all the detectives on SL-9 have disappeared, we find new evidence. There has to be a connection. So, Rookie. What? It seems like you're serious about investigating this case. Yes? Then you should take this. A Salisbury steak lunch? I know a certain guy who might help you if you tempt him with this treat. Steak lunch. Ah, excellent for putting Officer Marshall in a good mood, okay. Miss Star, Officer Marshall, is he your, are you his, are you going out? Why do you want to know? I was just wondering what happened to him. A long time ago when he was helping my sister do cases, he was so nice. He got along so well with my sister, it made me jealous. And he was nice to me back then. This would be when Officer Marshall was a detective. But now he's so cold. ... Jake and I are merely cooperating on this investigation. We're putting the past to rest, as it were. Nothing more than that. I see. Thank you. Officer Jake Marshall. Okay. I guess maybe now Marshall might be in his room. But that's where I want to go. So I just want to do a bit of spraying around here to see if there is any blood in Edgeworth's office. Okay. Anything on the ladder? No. I love this mechanic, by the way. I'm hoping that things like this are going to be more of a feature in the series going forward after we complete this game. So I think it just adds a bit more to the game, doesn't it, than just examining items, when you can also like open up this mode and do a bit of spraying, looking for blood and things like that. I think it's cool. Oh, there is blood there. What? It looks like some blood has dripped down here. Judging by the amount, my guess is it's from a nosebleed. A nosebleed, Maybe in his wrath, Mr. Edgeworth slapped someone for their incompetence. I doubt it. Why does Detective Gumshoe's face come to mind? Could you imagine Edgeworth slapping Gumshoe? Surely not. It's got to be the other way around. Okay. Let's head to Marshall's office then. Because I imagine he might be there now. Ah, February the 23rd, Police Department entrance. This place is charged with frantic energy as always. Please! Huh? Wasn't that? One steak lunch, please. Oh, it's you. Detective Gumshoe. Now's no time for chit-chat, pal. I'm a busy man. What I really need is a steak lunch from Lunchland. Oh, you mean one of these? Actually, it's not for sale. ... I think I just heard the sound of his heart breaking. Now's no time for despair. We've caught our criminal. Now we just need evidence. The criminal? You mean... You heard about the stabbing in the police department evidence room, right, pal? We did. On the same day that a detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot, another detective was killed at the police department. Well, the same detective, apparently. And the perpetrator? Do you have a suspect? Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested him, in fact. It's the biggest scandal to hit the station in ages. Everything's topsy-turvy. But Detective Gumshoe, who was it? Listen, pal, all I know is I need me a steak lunch, pronto. Standing around here talking isn't going to fill my belly. Ah. Wait, don't leave. If you want to know more, head on down to the detention centre, pal. Questioning should be over, so I figure he's down there having a good cry. Later. Okay, so we need to go to the detention centre next. He ran off to the evidence room. Well, this investigation is off to a running start. Alright, well, that is where we'll leave it because we're out of time. So, it looks like we're actually going to the detention centre next to talk to whoever has been arrested for the murder, / murders, / same person murdered twice in 2 separate locations. But we'll do that in the next episode. So as always, thank you very much for watching. A big thank you to my patrons, Arcades Games, Wayne, Nate, Paul from the Phantom Fellows, Lyle, Hobo, Numinous, Kumadin, Paulie Own, Flossie the Sheep, JohnCom555, Chrissy, Paul James, and Zolties. And I'll see you next time.